Hi, I'm Laurie Jinkins, and I'm here just in front of the governor's office today because the governor is signing a large number of bills that have been passed by the House and Senate. One of the things I like to do every year is to interview legislators and advocates who are coming to bill signings. I think it's important for people to understand that if you think the law should be changed, it's not that hard to do it, and get some advice from those who've actually had success in changing the law. So you're going to see a few interviews here with great advocates and get some advice from them about how to move forward when you see something that needs to be done. So Representative Cody, tell me what bill signing you're here for this morning.
1199, health care for workers with disabilities.
What does the bill do?
It will take off the cap that we have had in place so that workers can actually earn more money and not lose their Medicaid benefits. And hopefully we'll also be able to have a savings account.
That's great. And so we've got a young man here who's here for the signing. Tell us who you are.
I am Eric Mathis. I'm a constituent of Representative Cody, and I have HWD as well.
And tell me, why is this bill important to you?
It is important to me so that I can be able to have my job at a great place called the King County, that I've been there for 10 years, and I want to keep my health care so I can be able to pay my bills on time.
Well, thank you for all your advocacy on this. And how about you?
My name is Joey Wilson.
And tell me why you're down here.
I helped advocate for the bill, and I'm very happy. It's a great day. I will help a lot of people, including myself.
Great. So did you all think this bill would pass when you first started working on it?
Yes.
You did from the very beginning. That's great. That's great. Well, have fun when the governor signs the bill, and make sure to get a pen from him, okay? Thanks. Well, I found another advocate for a great bill down here today. Can you tell me what bill you're here to see signed?
Yeah, so I'm here for the signing of the bill on Holocaust education.
Wonderful. And I should have asked you, what's your name?
My name is Mario.
And how did you get involved in this? What made you come down and advocate on it?
So when I was in middle school, I took a course on Holocaust education, and through that course I got involved in the local Holocaust Center in Seattle, and I'm a member of the Student Leadership Board there, and so I had been surprised in my schools by the lack of Holocaust education, and so when this bill came up, I went down to Olympia twice to testify about the importance of the bill in front of the House and Senate Education Committee. And we're super excited that the bill passed today and that Governor Inslee is signing it. It's great news.
It's a great bill. I was so happy to vote for it. One of the things I like to do is tell people out there that if they advocate for a bill, they can actually be here getting it signed themselves. And so what's your experience been? Is this your first time with advocacy?
Yeah. This is my first time down here. I think it's been a great experience. It's been easy to come down and testify. There hasn't been any issues with that. And we were all invited down here today. So whoever wanted to come to be involved was welcome to come. So it's been a great experience.
And what advice would you give people if they have a bill idea that they want to advocate for?
Just go for it. If you have a bill that you think is important and you want to advocate for it, then set aside that time and get involved, and it should be great.
Great. Well, enjoy it and make sure that you get one of the pens from the governor after he signs it. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So I've run into Representative Kilduff down here. What are you here to see the governor sign this morning?
I am here to see the governor sign House Bill 1210. It's called Advanced Enrollment for Military Students. So it will allow students to enroll in their new school even before coming to Washington State. So military families who move so much, between 6 and 8 times on average, they could be, say, in Florida, but they have to, under current law, wait for paperwork to be processed in order to get set up in their new school. So this bill will remove that barrier and let kids know what school they're going to, let the family know that they're set up in their new community, and I'm really excited to be here today.
I was really happy to vote for this one, too, on the floor, and you've got a constituent here who actually kind of brought some of the ideas about this bill to you, huh?
In part, yes, and we've worked together on other legislation involving military families, particularly military spouses, who are an essential part of the equation to making sure that military families who serve our country, that they are set up for success. So yes, Whitney Stafford lives on base.
So tell me who you are and tell me how you got involved in this and what your experience has been.
My name's Whitney Stafford. I'm a military spouse. And what happened was I was having difficulty getting employment. It took about 6 months, and I found out that I would turn in resumes and no one would even read them because of my address was a military address, was on base. And so I decided to delete my address from my resume, and I got responses from everyone I had previously not been responded to. So it was very important for me to realize that, there are things that need to be changed that can help our community, and this is a great forum for us to take advantage of. It's here for us to utilize, and it's wonderful because we have wonderful representatives who want to do that. It's a very usable system.
And so can you tell me what advice would you give somebody out there who's watching this video and they have an idea for a bill, but they're not really sure? What's your experience been like coming down here? What advice would you give to people who want to change the law in some way?
Yeah, absolutely. This all started over a coffee meeting, over 20 minutes worth of coffee. Reach out, find out who your representatives are, and reach out to them. They want to hear from you. They want to know what issues you're having so they can help fix these things.
Thank you very much. Young man, This is Liam. Liam, did you get anything from the governor this morning when you saw the bill signing?
I got a pen.
Can you show everybody what you got? Are you super excited about it or just kind of like, eh? I'm glad you came, though. Hopefully you'll be sitting on the floor of the House someday, okay? I've just run into Representative Caldier here, who's just had a bill signed. What's the bill that you had signed by the governor this morning?
Well, it was 1198, which would require healthcare providers who are undergoing sexual misconduct sanctions that they had to notify their patients.
Oh, that's right. I love that bill. I actually was going to come to the signing, but I was too busy interviewing people. So congratulations on that bill. And you've had advocates who came down and brought this bill to you and kind of worked on it.
Yes.
So let me ask who you all are.
My name is Rex Johnson. I'm with Washington Advocates for Patient Safety.
I'm Peter Molinix. I'm also with Washington Advocates for Patient Safety.
Yanning, also with Washington Advocate for Patient Safety.
So one of the things that I like to do is find out from people what got them motivated to do this work and what's the experience like coming down to Olympia and advocating for a bill.
Well, we've unfortunately had the experience of a medical error in our family, and so we've been trying to find ways to stop that from happening to other people. And so this bill is another bill to move that type of thing forward to help protect patients. Thank you.
Yeah, and so tell me, did you come down and testify, or how did you get connected with Representative Caldier and things like that?
Well, initially, all of us went to talk to Representative Cody, and she thought the bill was a really good idea. We made the suggestion, and I believe she talked to Representative Caldier and got her to sponsor it, and so then it all moved forward. We came down and testified for all the hearings. It's a very important issue for us.
And I just am wondering what advice you would give people who are watching this video if they have a bill that they have an idea about. What advice would you give them about what they should do if they have an idea they want to see become law?
Most certainly, they need to talk to their representative, the legislators. They need to spend the energy. We have found that most legislators are very receptive to having the general public come down. They talk to lots of other people, but the general public doesn't come down very often. They need to be here in Olympia along with us.
Well, congratulations on a great bill and getting it signed. And I'm assuming you all have pens from the governor. That's great. That's great. Congratulations, and I'll look forward to what your next bill is. So I've run into Senator Cooterer here, and what bill are you here to see signed?
We're here on House Bill 1219. It's my seatmate's bill, Representative Amy Wallen.
So what does the bill do?
The bill expands the available uses of REIT, the real estate excise tax, for cities for affordable housing purposes.
Oh, that's great. So expanding affordable housing. And you came down and advocated for this bill, right?
Yes, I'm Jay Arnold. I'm Deputy Mayor of Kirkland, and we use the real estate excise tax. Cities use it for parks and transportation, things like this. This allows us to use it for affordable housing, which is an important infrastructure, because the more that you can have people close to where they work and living close to where they work, that is cheaper than building roads, transit, and other infrastructure. So we're really excited about this bill.
Oh, thank you for your work on it. And Representative Wallen's not here because she's stuck in a committee meeting, right? So she won't even be able to be here for her own bill signing. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm her understudy.
And so tell me, what advice would you give people who have an idea that they want to become law? How do they make that happen?
It starts with just talking to your legislators and say, hey, I've got an idea. And when you get them behind it, somebody like Representative Wallen just ran with it. It's been fantastic.
All right, well, thank you for this great bill. Go get it signed. So I've run into David Ward here, who's an amazing advocate that works on a lot of different legislation. And what bills are you down here to see the governor sign today, David?
Two bills. One is Senate Bill 5399, which concerns how courts should handle relocation matters when a child is involved. And another bill is Senate Bill 5649, which would extend the statute of limitations for prosecuting sex crimes.
And why are these two bills, they're a little different, but why are they important to you?
Well, the work I do, I work for a women's rights organization, and the statute of limitations bill is one that we've been working on a long time. Washington has some of the shortest statutes of limitations for prosecuting sex crimes in the country, and it's taken 4 years to come together on a bill that people can broadly agree on, and we were so thrilled to see it pass this year after so many years of effort.
And tell me about the Relocation Act a little bit.
Well, the other bill is a little bit geeky to explain, but Legal Voice, the organization I work for, advocated 20 years ago to set up a system under our laws where if parents are divorced and they have a child together, there's a process to figure out how you and whether one parent can relocate to another place with the child. And after 20 years, we found there was one gap in the law. Courts started saying, what do you do if both parents have equal residential time? And the courts did not know how to deal with that. So this bill addresses problems that the courts have not been able to figure out and makes the law clearer.
Yeah, these are two great bills. One of the Relocation Act we heard in my committee, and it was really good work that was done on it. David, you've been an advocate down here for a few years now, and have probably learned a lot about things that are easy and hard. And one of the reasons I do these videos is to help folks back at home see that they can advocate for legislative changes and be really successful. But I'm wondering, as a longtime advocate, what advice would you give people?
Well, I think be persistent. Be very patient and ready to come back maybe more than 1 year, because a lot of bills don't pass the first year they're introduced. But you can move the ball a little bit every year if you're persistent. And it's also just important for the legislators to hear from real people who are affected by bills. That makes all the difference in the world if the legislators can hear from people who are affected by the bills, and that's what happened with both of the bills that are being signed today for us. People who are personally impacted by problems with the law came down and made their voices heard.
That's amazingly good advice, I think. So thank you for that, and thank you for all you've done, and enjoy the bill signings today. Two more governors' signing pens for you.
Very happy.
Thanks. So, Representative Levitt, you just had a bill signed by the governor. I think it's one of your first bills. What are you down here to have signed today?
I am very excited. My first bill, signed by the governor, improves the National Guard's pay equity and gives them a raise that they deserve. They don't go into it to get rich. They do it for service, and because of that, they are citizen soldiers, and they deserve to get every amount of pay that they can and be on par with our state wildfires. So I'm very excited to get this bill passed and honored to have the Guard here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, and this is a wonderful, wonderful first bill to have, to be very, very proud of. So you advocated a little bit on this bill and came down for the signing. Yeah. Tell us who you are and why this bill was important to you.
So my name's Lieutenant Colonel Chris Blanco. I've been in the Guard now for almost 20 years. This bill means a lot to us, actually. It kind of levels the playing field, and thank you for what you've done in helping this get together. But it just levels the playing field. So a guardsman typically takes a lot of time off of their military duties and their schoolwork and their employment to help support wildfire fighting. And it just kind of gives them equal pay with the amount of work that they're doing. So it's a lot of benefit for those guys.
That's great. So do you have any advice for people who might have a law that they want changed or an idea that they have? Do you have any advice to people about how to access government and try to make those changes?
Yeah, I think one of the things is just to get to know the process, really, to get to know who your representatives are and who those individuals that help make change in what we're trying to do around here. I would say that getting involved in your community, understanding what affects them and how they can reach out to our representatives out there would make a huge difference in what we're trying to achieve.
Well, thank you. Congratulations on the bill, and thank you so much for the great advice. So these are just a few examples of some of the advocacy and bills that the governor is signing today. There will be literally dozens and dozens and dozens of these kinds of stories that we'll see over the next few weeks as the governor signs legislation. I do hope it'll inspire you to contact me if you have a legislative change that you'd like to see. I look forward to hearing from you. Just give me a ring if you'd like to talk.